America. Today we're going to talk about templates. So, what I wanted to make was this. This is a box for anything but really for pens or dice. So I want to make a box out of wood, out of walnut, that had all these grooves into it. And I wanted to make it repeatable so I can make it stackable so I can make several. A little bit of variation there. But I want them to be identical, and since you're doing the same thing multiple times, you want to make a template. So, this is something a lot of people have made, not exactly, but very similar concept with CNC machines. Which I don't have, I don't really want to get right now. They're still pricey and it's still a lot of work. I know people have made beautiful boxes and trays and everything with CNC machines, but it has taken them 6-8 months, calibration, testing, getting it just right, changing all the settings and everything. And you still need a lot of space. It's really good for people that have a business that are like, oh, I want to put in the effort to make this once, and then I can make 1,000 of them to sell, and it'll just, once I get it calibrated, I can just run the program. I just want to make one for me, so I didn't want to get into the whole CNC thing. So I started off with wood. I was like, oh, I'll just be very careful, very slow. I'll make a template once perfectly. No, you can tell a lot of issues here just with, not bad, but not perfect as far as my hand cuts. I cut this with a jigsaw by hand, and it's like, that's the thing about template, if it doesn't work, you can just redo it. So, I don't have a CNC machine, I do have a 3D printer, so it's like, oh, this is perfect for a robot. I can make the shape once in CAD, copy and paste it, and then calibrate it. So, it actually did take me like 6 months anyway, but my first template is somewhere over here. I didn't put these in order. Was this, out of PLA. And it was nice. I had a little bit of variation with it. You can kind of tell not all the sides were exactly perfect. So that was my first template. Then I started playing around with different materials. I trained on spacing. I put in slots for screw holes. But the good thing about having a CNC or 3D template that you can then iterate through multiple designs, making calibration and adjustments. I had a couple that did break and not print well, but I still had to use them for other stuff. This was the first one I believe that I actually used, and I tore up into it with the router. I was doing all these by hand with a router with the template. So, I guess that's our second point. I'm sure I had a second point. There it is. Always test. This is my first test piece with the template. It's out of junk wood that's already like splitting, but you can tell I was nicking like crazy. I had a lot of issues with the router bits that I was using. I finally switched to a CNC bit, and that worked really well. I was able to do multiple iterations of testing, and you can see this is my last test before I switched on to production with another template, because I played around with different materials, different heights for my templates, different depths, because I actually was working with a bushing, so I had to make it taller, but then I couldn't get deep enough, so I had to make thinner templates. That way I could get the router bit closer to the piece of wood. With a CNC bit, it was like 4 inches long, so it didn't really matter. But I'm just going to trash this one. Save Bandit!